at least, is because it's like the coloring out of the lines that you said, with the teacher, is that you learn like basics and then you expand. And so I was researching. I'm trying to learn to do I want to do a wood kiln, and I want to learn to work with fire in different ways in pottery. And so they have where you can put it in a trash can and then smoke fire, pit fire. There's just different ways to fire. So this is a form of raku called horsehair, but this is not exactly horsehair. Horsehair you get like hair from your head or a horse tail from their mane or whatever. Thicker, coarse hair works great. But I had seen a man using feathers, and so what I did was I took it out when I was doing raku. I took the raku out first because it needs to be more hot, and then I laid a feather on, and it's called naked raku, or horsehair raku, is what it's called. And then this is an expansion of horsehair raku with feather. Look at this one, it reminded me of a bird. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to see what happens with different color feathers. Is white stoneware, terracotta, there's raku clay, there's clay that you can just dig out of the ground and use. It's fantastic. You just filter it. You get it from creek beds and stuff like that. Alabama.
I remember finding clay one time when I was a kid in the creek, like, and finding it and playing with it and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it was almost like a dark blue kind of color, and it could like stain your hands and stuff, but we loved it.
That stuff matters. I think really when you're a child, some of the stuff that you do, like what I'm learning, is all through life, Father plants like little seeds of things like that he leads you to eventually somewhere in your life, or it has purpose. Like one of my first jobs was working at a Moravian sugar cookie shop. It was in a house.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Cookie cut, and I thought I was going to get the cookie cut, and I didn't. But look what I'm getting to do now.
Oh, boy.
And so you playing with that clay in the mud bed had purpose, and it stains your hand. Very cool. Bring it. Okay, so this that we have is raku clay, and it has more grog in it, and grog is like sandy, it's sand, because clay is made of sand, silica. Some of the same elements that make glass are in clay to harden it with the fire. So that's what hardens it, and the more grog that you have in clay, the more sturdy it is, like to throw. Like if you go with porcelain and try to work with porcelain and throw it, it's like trying to throw cream cheese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's very delicate.
Yeah, and that's a very hard thing to throw. Like at a clay conference, I got a scholarship to go to a clay conference. It was really fun. Yeah, and they had a contest to see who could throw cream cheese, actually. It was awesome.
My goodness.
So that's what I love about the clay community, is it's down to earth,
Yeah.
More ways than one. So,
I'm
all right.
excited.
Well, get over here. Put your... Come on, Tyler.
It's awesome.
Let's do 3D. I don't want to mess up his new camera.
Wow.
Playing with mud. Doesn't it feel good?
It does.
Man.
Mail!
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to get this out. You can, this is a clay cutter right here.
Oh, yeah. I watch videos sometimes of people throwing and like they'll use something like that to get it off the wheel.
Yes, you'll do that. You'll do that. It freaks my mom out. She's like, what is that? And I'm like, Mom, it's for clay. But some people do this. Like, there's different techniques to everything. So some people do this.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll do this again. And like with hand building, you can stack clay.
Oh, wow.
Or you can get textures. It's endless. Like, endless.
Yeah.
Like, you could look at that texture.
That looks so cool. It looks like a wave or something.
And you could get you a little pen or like a little tool and cut into that and then put colored clay or put dye in there in your clay. It's endless. This is not just experiment. I love that one. It reminds me of a ginkgo leaf.
Yeah. That's cool.
Or like underneath of a mushroom.
Oh yeah, that's cool. What does it remind you of? I feel like I'm on one of those kids.
I love it. Cool.
All right, this is my super professional and super well equipped. I separate my clay and use it again because there's a bag of stuff that you can use, like it's powder that when you wedge you put powder in. It's just broken up clay. I mean, I forget what the name is called. Sorry folks. But what I do is I just take the clay that's hardened, that I take it from the wheel, and whatever I throw, I separate it, and I don't have to buy it. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I can just reuse that clay instead of having. But it's kind of a pain in the butt. Sometimes you gotta break it up. And I'm sorry, I should have done this before you got
No, good. I want to see it.
Okay. The different kinds of clay matter because different types of clay, like terracotta, is a low fire clay. Terracotta is what most of the Native Americans use because they pit fired.
Wow.
And in pit firing, the heat is not as high or extreme as like cone 6 stoneware, white stoneware say, or brown stoneware. And so the higher you go in temperature, the more hardened the clay becomes. It's called vitrification. Vitrification? But anyway, it's like when the glass that's in the clay, the silica,
Yeah.
when that silica reaches the temperature that it sets and hardens, you know, in the firing, in your bisque fire, that's what hardens the clay. And this is called earthenware, or greenware, when it's not fired.
Wow.
It'll dry and be hard, but it can break just like this, right here. Or if you put water on it, it softens up again.
Wow.
Yeah. And clay has a memory, so it matters how you handle clay and the wedging and every part of the whole experience of clay. It has a memory, the molecular setup.
That's so good.
It's
Oh,
super.
Lord.
I know.
Said I'm a part and you're the clay. The clay has a memory of how it's handled. Remembering how we're handled.
That's good.
I did good. I'll preach.
Well, just wait.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm just going to tell you these things and you go with it, because Father will speak. He speaks volumes to me with clay. So, and then you can do this. Just get all of your stuff broken up. I'm going to mix these two because they're both the same kind of clay, the same temperature. They're both raku. Just one has more grog, that's the brown one, and this one over here has less grog. So that means there's more sand in this one and less in this one. So the one with less sand, I'm mixing with the one with more to strengthen the clay when you throw, to make it easier to hold form. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get all wobbly so easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Is your clay is too wet and it needs to dry out or stiffen a little bit, you add powder. It's ball clay is what it is. And you wedge your clay. It's like making bread. This is so similar to making bread with the wedging. Okay? So you do that, or it's also to make it not stick to your surface. So that's what we're doing. We're going to put the clay flour down. I just sit there and I was like, man, I'm glad you can. I'm too.
Yep, I know them.
There's a place and a time for all things, I'm sure.
Lord bless them.
Bless your heart!
You had a good old heart. It do.
Oh, Jim. Okay, now, what are you?
Oh, I got to.
Clay.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I make a worm. Make it a worm and put the roll on it.
Where's your picture? All right, you got your powder.
I have made it.
Here's a... You gotta see. Oh, no!
Mr. Potato!
No. Mr. Potato, my dear.
I'm not sure why. Even if you want. Well, there's no problem. Okay, so when you're waiting, you just move around.
You don't want to.
Right, because you'll dry. So I'm going to put a little water. I want you to do it.
Okay.
So you just do is you're gonna
Flop it.
plop it on there and
Like in the
close
middle,
to the
right?
middle. Yeah, but there. Good. Okay. Now. Okay.
So excited.
I know. Look, that looks like a gear shifter.
It does.
It's not. But sorry. I can pretend. So put your foot here
Okay.
and
Do I need to scoot closer?
yeah, you get to where you're comfortable, where you lean over and see how you feel it shaping.
Feels pretty good.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, you'll see. If you need to move back, then you will. Or if you need to be over the clay, but far enough back where you can push it into place.
Yeah.
Okay. The harder you push the pedal, the faster the wheel goes. And this wheel has the heartbeat of Father in it because it bumps a little bit. So you are gonna be challenged more than most that
I
have
love it.
wheels that don't have a bump.
Yeah.
Because most don't. All of them usually don't. But you're learning on Father.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
So push the wheel, and what you're going to need to do, it always needs to have water. Not a ton, not every time, but to keep your hands gliding. You'll see. Just
Yeah.
put
So
your,
I need
wet your
water.
hands. Just wet your hands. Okay. Together, and then just feel the clay. Just put your hands on it. You're not going to do anything but feel the clay. Close your eyes. Okay, push the pedal just a little bit harder. And then a little faster.
Yeah.
Are you cheating?
I peeked twice, I did.
That's okay. Just, do you feel the clay?
Yeah, my hands are getting a little...
Okay, then put them in the water. Get some more. You can open your eyes and do that. Okay. Alright.
Should have swapped it out with the cow patty and told him not to. It's kind of dry.
Okay. Now, full pedal to the middle.
Whoa.
So when Father's speaking to you, so I'm going to shut up. Okay, now go back to stop, or slow. There you go. Okay. Whenever you feel like you need water, put your hands in that water, or you could even put your fingers, Alright, so I'm going to teach you the center. Alright, you have the feel, right, of the clay.
Yes, ma'am.
With centering the clay, you're going to use the speed of the wheel, centrifugal force, like...
Am I supposed to have my eyes closed?
Yeah, you can do your eyes open.
Okay.
For a minute.
I like it. I was like,
Clay, with me, is more about feeling the clay, because it'll let you know where it is. And what it is. Does that make sense? It's like us. Father's hands. He's like, all right, I know what you mean. So when you're centering the clay, you're gonna have, I have to have one hand back here because my arms aren't strong. Well, I do it in my gut, but people, you won't have to. Your arms are strong enough. So you're gonna put it like this and kind of push it into place. Now just leave it like this. All you gotta do is try and that section a little bit. That's one thing about clay is people are scared to push it around. It's not like, but you know, like, because it needs to be pushed.
So I got two.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go and I'm going to show you something. I just wanted to show you first so you can see what's going on. Is that okay? Now, if you want, see, I have to do right here because my arms aren't like, so I do this, and what you're going to do is you're pretty much pushing it into place. You're pushing it in the center, and you want to push it a little past center because when you take your hands, it'll come back a little. You'll see, all in the feeling. Okay. When it's centered, you gotta kind of push hard. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing, and then this one is my retainer hand to keep it from going like all the way off. Okay. So you're gonna do this. If that's not centered, this is gonna be like, whoa. So what we do for this is you're going to apply pressure with the bottom part. And you always want to safeguard your clay to a degree when you're working with it. So, like watch. I don't know how to explain that. So, I'm pushing with this part, but I'm keeping it maintained. So it's not like, if I didn't watch what would happen. It'd be like, well, I broke a habit. See? Okay, so what? Okay, so what I'm going to do, open it up. So when it's up like this, you can push it into place a little too. And see how I'm safeguarding it? Okay, so that's not centered. You don't have to pull it up like make a tower. But, see how it's gliding? Okay. And you're going to push it back down. So you lift it up to center it more in the middle and then push it back down. And then you're going to, you can make any shape, but this is the basic to start with. And I got an air bird so you can feel. Okay. Look how patty. Okay, so if you sit there and feel it now. One more time.
Okay. Should I do this part?
And let your hand set down.
Yeah, it's really smooth.
It flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's super smooth.
Do you feel a little wobble?
No.
It's still feel on top. It probably has a wobble.
Yeah, a little bit on top.
After we do that, just be quiet.
It's really awesome.
Okay. Okay. And we got one more move. We got to bust a move.
Okay.
Alright, so
You want?
I'll show you if you want. Yeah. And you're going to do it on your piece.
Yes.
Maybe I'll.
I'm excited.
Okay. So after you get this kind of centered, it doesn't all have to be perfectly centered at this stage. Because what you're doing is you're going to lift it up. No. I'm messing with you. Okay, so what this does is the outer part is centered pretty much to make it easier for your hands to form.
So where were you? What were you? You just want me to feel it? Yeah.
Okay, open your eyes. You see how all this is like all over the place?
Yeah.
So when your clay is centered, that's why I tell you don't go by what you see. It's kind of like fate.
Yeah.
Like when circumstances all around you, like if you're looking at all this stuff going on, you're going to get off center. And you're not going to know, hey, I am centered and I'm good. So that's why I like to teach people with their eyes closed, because too many people freak out and look at all this stuff. And they're like, oh my gosh, and they can't get it centered. So go with what your hands know is true and feel is the center. So you already felt the center before. Okay. So there you go.
That's awesome. I love it.
Alright, now cut her off and you're gonna do it.
It is. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely.
It's very relaxing too. Whenever you don't feel the pressure of doing, just relax and know what you know to do.
Yeah.
And a good whistler. Okay, so this is where you are. So you're centered, you have your clay. We're going to open it up. And people do different ways to open the clay up. I use one. I use this one. And then you have this hand. And I don't always put my hand on the clay or the bat. I use this one sort of stabilizer.
Okay.
So I put my hands right here and here on my knees. And then what you're going to do is this is like the probe or the scout that's trying to find the center. And when you, like I'm feeling, if I go up here and try to push, I can feel that that's not the center, you see. But if I go back here, it's about, so I do that, and you do that, you make a hole, and some people will go in with thumbs and do that to make a larger hole.
Okay.
You may need to, and then you just, what I'm doing is I'm going in with my thumbs, and then I'm using this and pulling out, look, like that. So I'm going in, can you see? And then I'm going, brace. I don't always do that because I'll come over here and go like this, and see, you always have your bracer. I have to. A lot of people may not. Okay. There. And then you pull it out. And what I'm doing, yes, yeah, exactly. This is kind of your bracer, and you want your hands on your legs to give you the more stability brace. So you're gonna go, and when this stays wet, you go down and then pull out to get your height. Okay, and you do different things for different shapes. That's why I asked you your shape that you wanted. Because if you wanted to make like a vase that went like that high, you would have to lift it up higher and then shape it.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You would make a tube and then shape it from the tube so you have your height. But if you were making bowls, you would go and have your bowl. Like pull it out. So that's why I asked. So what we're going to do is basic, because if you get the tube shape, you can make anything. So you just learn how to lift it first.
Yeah.
And what I do, I don't know what I do, I just do it. You can do, see how I'm doing the coin? And I'm using this part in my hand, and this is sort of, you do your pressure not a lot. Like some people can throw like a tube up in one throw, which is, I don't find the joy in that. I like the going through it. But, and you're going to apply your pressure.
Are you applying pressure on both sides?
Yep. And I got an air bubble. And I'm gonna let you feel it in just a second. So see, I lifted it. So I'm pushing here, and both hands are parallel. Pulling, pushing it up. Okay, now I want it to go in. I push more with the outside hand, with this hand.
Yeah.
So going out, you just don't want to push it too fast.
Yeah.
See there?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
So cool.
So,
You know, it would be its time when it got done.
I love you, Tyler. See how I'm bracing against this to stabilize?
Yeah, you're using your thumb to kind of stabilize your finger.
Do you want the lip open more, or do you want it going in? Or
What do
is
you
that
feel
too
like?
big?
Do an extension of you.
He likes people move.
The outside hand. I'm sorry. I have humor when I'm in an awkward place.
Yeah, I'm making it real awkward.
You are actually, your little squirrel tail thing up there. So when you want something to go out, you use more pressure on your hand on the inside to push it out. And this hand kind of goes to guide. And then if you want something to go in, you do more pressure from the outside in this hand guide. Okay. So this is really wet clay. That's why you have your powder. So it doesn't stick. Okay. And so to make handles, you can do it a lot of ways. You can make like a little worm like Tyler did earlier. You can do a fat one, or you can get it thinner, however you like, and shape it that way. This would be a hand building kind of handle. It's called hand building. And you can also roll stuff on texture. I should have thought to tell you. They have texture rollers, or you can put textures down. See how it when you do play work, that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
So you can make a handle doing coil and shape it, however you want your handle. Or you can do what's called pulling a handle. It's like milking a cow. I like this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So you get your water. I feel like I'm doing a cooking show. Okay, so what you do is this, you're going to have to use a lot of water. So you go like this, and you're milking the cow. You apply pressure and kind of pull. Kind of hard because it's kind of, okay. See, if you do it too hard and too fast, it breaks off. So, and doing it this way, you can get more consistent in different shapes right away, and then I'll show you. See?
That's cool.
And the way you hold your hand matters too. Because I could do it this way and get more of a flat. And I can do it this way and get more of a round. So then once you get the length of your handle, you do this coolness to get your curve.
Wow.
And it gives you a pretty curve. Or you can go up and your curve, or like that.
I like that.
Does that make sense? So, and then you set it down. Want it super hard because it needs to be pretty much the same. If you're going to attach something to your clay pieces, they need to be in about the same place of moisture. Otherwise, they'll break off or won't attach well. And so that's a handle. That's one handle. So, alright, y'all get to make your handles for your pieces. And you can make them however shape you want it. So, for this, what we're going to do is you get your ball, and you can either put it on when your handle is ready, like hard enough, and to connect anything or add to any piece, you have to score. This is called scoring. Because that gives you the suction that you need, and it's like, and then you'll use your slip. This will be called slip now. Slip is clay that's in this kind of form right here.
Oh yeah.
So
real slime.
That's your glue. And then you're gonna put that there. And see what it does is it goes in there to build a bonder. And then you put it here. Okay. And then what you'll do is you'll attach it. Okay. And that attaches. So when your handle gets like this, and you want to do your thumb thing, you'll do your score in here. The pen. At the top. And then you'll do your thing here. And then you'll do your score. Flip. Okay. And then what you're going to do is do your thumbtack. And do your thumbtack. Is that what you're talking about? Like on the top?
That's so cool. It
So-
creates your signature.
So you can do like
And
bigger.
when you go to drink out of it, the thumb is stretched. That's perfect.
There you
That
go.
does sound, there's the guinea.
Okay.
Can I use this or do I need to use?
You can use, I'm sorry, I don't jar yet. You can pull it off this outfit on one side. Or you can use that.
I'm looking at how well that just fit on there and I'm like, yep, that was the Lord. That is an awesome road.
It's nice, too.
You can even use it.
No soup.
The idea of something.
I like the idea of the thumb thing, but I don't know.
It's a little big.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know how to make it any smaller.
I think it looks beautiful. I'm gonna go up.
I was just kind of playing around with it to see if I could get something that would look right, but
Let's see. You never know.
yeah, I like it just like that. I think that is just absolutely perfect. It is really tall.
Okay. I'm gonna lift it up so I can get. That'd be fun.
That's an awesome road.
I'll do a thumb on this one. How's that? Stan made these. I was like, Stan! I like that lip thing, but I need to put it into. Alright. You okay with that handle?
Yes, ma'am.
These six?